Hello. There it goes. What's up, Tyler? Caden? I'm waiting for you to accept.
So, Martin.
Let's do push-ups.
All right, give me 1 second. I gotta go inside.
You can do them
All
right
right.
there.
What?
You can do them outside. That's beautiful.
All right. All right. How many are we doing?
Tell me.
15, 20.
All right, 20.
All right.
Ready? Go.
Yep. All right.
10. So, somebody asked me about information in my book. It's information that you're forbidden from knowing in Abrahamic religions
Mhm.
because you'll have an apocalypse, a lifting of the veil
Okay.
that'll lead to a revelation, right? Or an understanding
Okay.
of some knowledge. So I
Well,
think it's
what's the
really
book
go
exactly
ahead.
about?
Your spark is light, the quantum mechanics of human creation.
Mhm.
So we tell you when we wrote the Torah, it was a collection of books they put together with real science, and we wrote religious parables to get religious moral points across. Once you understand the moral point, then you can have the apocalypse because you're intelligent enough to not abuse that power. Well, the problem is it kind of backfired now because we want to make sure people don't have the apocalypse because people at the top of religions have realized they can make a lot of money off of keeping people ignorant. I mean,
Okay.
it's about time we started teaching people some truth. I mean, you think in the United States alone, we have a government sponsored visa program. Your parents are paying taxes
Mhm.
because you don't have the education to understand how to do some jobs because we're making sure you don't understand some truths.
Okay.
Right? We're making sure you don't know how things work on purpose because some men at the top of some religions decided you didn't deserve that knowledge because of the money they could make off of you. Well, the consequence is now we have to pay people, your parents have to pay to bring people in to do jobs that you should be able to take, but you can't.
Okay.
I mean, you think about top physics labs in the world and in the United States. They tell you we have almost zero Americans, and we don't like to hire Americans because they can't do the job. And you ask them, well, why don't they can't do the job? Well, they don't understand anything. You think about like Michio Kaku, you're studying quantum field theory, light of the world crossing over into matter, right? Light
Yeah.
being born in the flesh. How do you get a job if we made sure you don't ever actually think about that stuff or learn how it works so that we can pay you $300,000 a year? How would you ever get a job at a physics lab or any $300,000 a year job if we've hidden the truth from you? So somebody can make 10% of your make 10% off your parents every year.
Okay.
Does
Well,
that
I
make,
do have a question. I've been
yeah, go ahead.
following you for like a while now.
Yeah.
So, what's the entire thing with like the military that you've been talking about? It's just in general.
Well, there's good ones and there are bad ones. I got free education from the military, and then in real life, I did a job taking care of sexually exploited women and children and drug mules. And some men from the military and veterans and the FBI set up rape scenarios and abductions so that the cartels and criminal organizations that sexually exploit children could show those children, look, the military, the FBI, they're the ones that provide us with right, they protect us. I mean, like if you were, you say you were a sexually exploited child that was under my care, your job is supposed to, you get to me and I send you wherever you're supposed to get to, right?
Yeah.
So your job is to come to my house on Saturday at 9 o'clock, right? You
Yeah.
get to my house at 9 o'clock you escape your thing. You're a sexually exploited girl. You get to my house at 9 o'clock. and you see the military threatening the people that they're supposed to take care of you, saying they're going to rape people, they're going to kill people, they're setting up rape scenarios and abductions. You would go back to where you came from and tell all those other sexually exploited children they can never trust the military. They better never trust the FBI, because that's what you saw, right? It doesn't matter what anybody says if you've seen that. So we men in my area made sure children that are sexually exploited running to my house because of what I did for 20 years got to see veterans in the military set up rape scenarios and abductions. So those children would go back to those organizations and make sure children do not trust the FBI and the military. If you now, somebody can tell you don't trust the FBI, don't trust the military, but it doesn't matter. What matters is if you see the FBI setting up those situations, if you see the military setting up those situations, right? Doesn't matter what anybody says. It's what you've seen.
Yeah. All right. I almost have to go now, but I just want to ask you, when is the book going to be dropping?
It's already dropped. You can get it at www.yoursparkislight.com.
Okay. And I have to go now, but can I get a screenshot before I leave?
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
All right. Thank you.
Yep.
All right.
The cannibal person's gone. Well, I'm not saying don't trust them. I'm saying if you set up a situation for children to see those things, those children tell their friends never to trust the FBI. Those children tell their friends never to trust the military. I don't have to tell them to trust them or not to trust them. Right? We can set up a situation so that they see that they should never trust the FBI. It doesn't matter. Right? And you can tell somebody whatever you want. It doesn't matter what you say, though. It's what they witness with their own eyes. You make sure a community of sexually exploited women and children see the FBI and the military are out there abducting people, trying to get people to kill their wife. Those criminal organizations now have all of the information and intel they need to get recruits that will take an American soldier's life. They have all the intel they need to make sure those sexually exploited women and children that they do exploit never go to the military, never go to the FBI.
Yes, mine.
Push-ups?
You're right, Matt.
Push-ups? Who wants to do push-ups? They made sure, I mean, think about it, the men in the military made sure some sexually exploited women and children saw that they set up those situations, and then men at churches in our community also set up and protect them. They protect, literally.
What's up, bro?
What's up? You want to do some push-ups?
No, I'll watch you if you want. I haven't in a while, but
You gotta do push-ups,
I'll just
baby.
keep listening if you're down. It sounded so awesome.
I'm gonna let you go so somebody else can do push-ups. You have a great
Sure.
day.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah. Oh, I gotta send Sia. That work real quick. Yeah, you can do some push-ups. Push-ups?
Yo, what's up, Martin? Martin,
Not much. How you doing?
are you ready?
How many are we doing?
Let's go 40. All right, ready?
All right, ready? Go.
Yeah. Ooh. All right. I have a question for you about
Hold on,
the
I'm gonna
current.
do the troll real quick here. All right, go ahead.
Can I ask you a question about the current political climate in the United States?
Yeah.
Who do you support and who? I mean, maybe you shouldn't say that, but
I've been asked not to give my a political opinion or support behind endorse anybody basically?
This guy said I only did 37 push-ups, so you want to do 40 more?
Well, with other people. I mean, I do push-ups all day long.
Yeah,
so.
that's true. So what are your thoughts about some people covering up certain things that happen? Because think about this. When was the last time you saw a rich person in jail, like a super rich person in jail, for like a very illegal crime?
They do all the time. You're really not. The percentage of rich people doing crimes to the percentage of poor people doing crimes is very skewed because of how many people are billionaires, or how many people have 100 million. So when it's the same percentage. The problem is there's not as many people making $100 million a year doing crimes as there are people making $50,000 a year doing crimes. It's the same percentage. If you actually look at percentages, it's the same. Does that make sense?
Yeah. But
there are things that the lower class and middle class can get away with.
Right.
That they just don't know.
Right.
Get these
out
of here.
All right. Thank you.
You know what I mean? That all comes down to knowledge, if that makes sense.
What about, do you think that like sometimes if you're super rich and you have a bunch of money that you can pay off some people so they don't talk?
That's really not how it works. It's it's the law, right? Do you have a lawyer who knows the law?
Right.
You know what I mean? It's a conflict of interest. Now, that person can't speak because it's a conflict of interest. They were personally involved in an argument with me. So me and you get in a fight. I do a crime, right? A year later, but we got in a fist fight, right?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? You're personal. It's a conflict of interest. I've already offended you. You already want to beat me up.
Right.
You know what I mean? It makes a difference. Now, if you know how the laws work and all that, you can work it all out where, right? People go, well, he's had so much money, that person wasn't able to talk. No, I had a lawyer who understood the law and go, hey, look, that guy wanted to kill Martin. So that guy, Martin beat that guy up 6 months ago. And that guy wants Martin in jail. So no matter, right, previously to the crime Martin committed, that guy already wanted Martin in jail. So do you know he's telling the truth because Martin committed a crime and deserves to go to jail, or because he just wants him to go to jail for beating him up in the first place? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
When people don't know how those laws work, so when they go, oh, the rich person paid him off. Not really. A lawyer just knew how to work that out. Right. Yeah, better call Sal. Go ahead.
Yeah, I got one more question. Some people are saying that the coronavirus is actually fake. What is your thoughts about that?
Well, that's just ignorance. I mean, it's literally it was such a big concern. The coronavirus was killing more people than it was today. 10 years ago, it was killing so many people 10 years ago. Lysol put it kills the coronavirus on the back of their packaging. Clorox bleach has it labeled for years, kills the coronavirus. It was killing so many people. We went, what's your name? I'm sorry.
Max.
Max. So back when your grandparents were young, your age, bleach and Lysol and 419 went, man, this coronavirus is killing so many people. We can tell Max's grandparents, hey, use this, and you don't have to worry about it no more. I mean, it was killing so many people back in the day already. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I mean, are you gonna put? It costs a lot of money to write that on a label, right? You think about that. They wrote that on every Clorox, every Lysol. Kills the coronavirus. Why would they pay for that? It costs money.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, that's a good point.
Right. They paid for it because they went. People already know this coronavirus is killing all kinds of people. It was already killing all kinds of people.
So how long do you think we're going to be on this kind of lockdown scenario in the United States and across the world for?
I don't know.
All right. I'm gonna let you go. Have someone else. All right. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Who's next? Push-ups. Who wants to do push-ups? Push-up?
No.
All right.
No, man.
You do 20? Go on. Ooh, let me see here. About, let me see here. Go on.
What's up, Martin?
What's up? Give me one sec here.
Ready?
One.
All right.
Oh, sorry.
You're fine.
Sorry.
You're fine.
Over it. All right. How many we doing?
25, right?
All right. Ready? Go.
All right.
Got a question?
Think the world's gonna end soon?
No. You think about where people are getting that, the end of times. You know, it's a biblical apocalypse, right? The world's ending, a biblical apocalypse. What does it actually mean, though? What is apocalypse? The end of times. What was this prophecy they foresaw? So what does apocalypse mean? A lifting of the veil, the end of times, right? So you think about this. The leaders of Judaism, Islam, and Christianity went, we prophesize an apocalypse or lifting of the veil that will end the time where we can exploit people for money. Is that the same thing as the world ending?
Yeah.
I just think about this, right? So, seven-colored rainbow body in Buddhism. They make a lot of money from that, right? Right? It's in the bow of a cloud. Right? Yahweh, in the bow of a cloud. Jesus, a bow of a cloud. Messengers from Islam, the bow of every religion. Right? The Greek gods. Right? You got to climb Mount Valhalla to the bow of a cloud. Viking gods. Or, I'm sorry, Mount Olympus. The Viking gods, Valhalla. Yeah. Native American Great Spirit, the bow of a cloud. So let's think about this. Right? The seven seals of rainbow reveals a body of light that is real light when all seven seals unite. In the Ark of the Covenant that arcs. With a head, 2 arms, and 2 legs. And we're created in its image. And it sacrifices itself on a cross to be born in the flesh. That is my daily bread and my last supper that I eat to create all the ATP that builds the biology for humanity. Yes or no?
Yes.
Right? But you don't have an education in science. You don't understand what they were talking about, so I can tell you. Right? There's a 7-colored rainbow body in Buddhism. Worship our temple, give our temple money. Every religion's the same thing. It's the same. It's right, the singularity of every religion's reality. That body of light. It's their God, their Son of God, or their messenger of God. It's the same one. The common denominator is we all tell you it did different things and make sure you don't know how to find it. But I mean, think about this. Now, the most advanced information in science. Why can't you get a job making $300,000 a year at the most advanced science labs in the United States or technology companies? I mean, even tech companies, because we've not taught you, right? Light does sacrifice itself on a crossover from energy into matter to be born in the flesh. And you don't even understand that basic concept of how grass is made. You don't even understand how grass is made when the light of the world crosses over to be born in the flesh of grass. Right? You don't even understand how the light crosses over to be born in the flesh to make your daily bread. How are you going to get a job making $300,000 a year?
Exactly.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Right, the end of times. The end of times were, to me, right, why don't we just go back to the original? What did the apocalypse mean in the beginning? I mean, it was the end of times that we could exploit people. Now, if I teach you this, the sun in the sky, the light of the world, really does sacrifice itself on a crossover from energy into matter to be born in the flesh. that is your daily bread and your last supper, that creates all of the ATP for all of the biology of every baby born in every manger. How many people will be able to exploit you for money?
No
From
one.
that, use that information to exploit you for money, right? It's the end of the times, the apocalypse, the end times. Make sense?
Yeah.
I mean, real life in real life does the light of the world, right? What the Bible calls when the Bible says the light of the world sacrifices itself on a cross to be born in the flesh. Does it really? Does the light of the world really sacrifice itself on a crossover to be born in the flesh that is your daily bread and your last supper?
No, it doesn't.
Are you sure it doesn't?
Well, I don't know, but I don't think it does.
Well, how do you get bread? Light has to cross over from energy into matter. So it does. You know what I'm saying? This is what I'm saying, right? We've made sure you like you're right now. You're like, I don't think it does. Why? Because we made sure you were not to be mean. Please don't take this the wrong way. We
No,
made
no, I
sure.
don't think. Yeah, I know what you mean.
We made sure that the people who taught you things were ignorant enough that we could convince them of some lies to make sure you're taught by them to believe those lies. Well, how do you not know? I mean, you're a farmer. How do you turn one seed into 100 bushels? You put it out in the light of the world. And that light of the world is born in the flesh that is your harvest. Right? Springtime. It's springtime. Right? The light of the world is being born in the flesh that is my harvest. It really is. It really is. Right now, the light of the world is being born in the flesh. It's sacrificing itself on a cross to be born in the flesh that we're going to call our harvest, to make into my daily bread and my last supper. But that knowledge is worth a lot of money. It's worth a lot of money.
How much money do you think it would be worth?
How does this relate to Christianity? I want you to think about this in Christianity. I'm sorry, what were you saying?
I said, how much do you think it'd be worth? And then I saw that.
Billions of dollars. Billions. I mean, I could build a golden throne. I could build the Vatican. I could build Mecca. Hundreds of billions of dollars. It's the most profitable information in the world. The most profitable information in the world. The light of the world. The body of light that we're created in the image of, sacrificing itself on a crossover from energy into matter to be born in the flesh that is our daily bread. It's the most profitable information in the world. Profits. It creates the most profits. It creates the most profits. What are profits?
It's when you get more than what you had, or what you put in.
Right? I mean, you could build your own Mecca. You could build your own Vatican.
You could.
Right? Because you don't understand the truth. Now, and here's the problem, right? Yahweh, that body of light, Yahweh is real. That Jesus, that body is real. But we perverted the truth for profits. Does that make sense?
Yes. So he is real, but not the way that they've told us.
Exactly. It's now we're getting somewhere. What does giving the world the truth do? It sets you free. You free the slaves of these people that have been given false information. Yahweh, Jesus, Buddha, that seven-color rainbow body in Buddhism, it's all the same one, and it's real. The problem is we don't tell you the truth so that you can ever discover it and understand it's real because of profits. It's the most valuable information in the world. Literally, it is the most valuable thing in the world. Quantum field theory's local manifestations of energy and matter, how the light of the world really does have a body, and it does sacrifice itself on a crossover from energy into matter to be born in the flesh, is the most profitable information in the world. It has made more millionaires than any other technology or information that we've ever had, humanity has ever come across. Well, somebody said, "Stop saying flesh." What did we call wheat in the old days? Flesh. My daily bread. I harvested the flesh of my fields, and I made it into daily bread. I mean, look, people don't know that. Like, why is this called flesh? Why do we call this flesh? Why is my body called flesh? Because it's made out of my daily bread that was born in the flesh. It's the flesh of the light of the world. You know how many people don't have the education to understand it? Why is this called flesh? Why is this called flesh? Because it was created out of my daily bread. The light it was created out of the flesh of Yahweh, the flesh. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right? I have flesh because it was created out of ATP that came from the flesh that was the Son of God that was born in the flesh. I have flesh today because my body used the flesh or the light of the world that was born in the flesh to make it. But people don't understand how things work, so. But I'll try and explain it again in an updated video. But I'm going to get going. I'm going to check on my wife. You guys have a great day. Thank you.
You too.